Hello, hello, and welcome to Wild Voices, our global neurodiversity, inclusion, and visibility podcast. We are very excited to be here today as co-founders of Wild, but more importantly, with our special guest. Please introduce yourself, special guest.
Hello, I'm Patricia Falcetta.
Hi, welcome, Patricia. Thank you so much for joining us in our cozy dens today.
Thank you. It's very cozy.
It is super cozy. It might look cozy on screen, but just so you know, it's a lot more cozy in real life.
We are getting to know each other very well.
I'm jealous. I want to be all cozy on that couch with you, but
Yes.
I am in my cozy diva den, and that'll do for now.
We are in the nook.
You're in
The F them fish nook. We've got the overthinked-pus in the background.
Of course.
I am Callie Elward-Barrett. We have also in the nook.
I am Troy Heeland.
And we have the beautiful Patricia. Patricia, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes.
Now, I'm noticing behind you guys, there's an addition to the nook next to the Thinktopus.
Yeah,
Overthinked. What are we looking at here?
Well, this took me way too long. But it is a fancy light, a sign that I'm not going to turn on. It's very bright when I do. But it is Autism Awareness Month. This month.
And I'm wondering if it's actually going to be backwards in the camera. It looks like it might be. So we did that on purpose, just so we're clear.
100% planned that.
Totally. We just want to mess with you guys. Yeah. So Patricia, you are here with us because you're one of our inaugurable, which we decided was the correct word, inaugurable Wild Award winners.
Yes, I was.
Yay, hang on.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured out it's the orange button. I know the orange button and I know the turquoise button. They're the only two buttons. I don't know
That's all
the
we
other
need to
buttons.
know.
Yeah.
I don't think now's the time to find out either. I think we should leave them alone.
One of them's an air horn. You don't want to give it a go?
No.
No? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive into some questions I'm keen to ask Patricia, but let's start because Callie, you did mention our Wildly Neuroinclusive Awards, and Patricia, we very happily spoke about you and gave you an award and absolutely want to elevate you because you're incredible in the work that you're doing in this space.
Thank you.
But in terms of a question about it, I'd like to know, does this differ for you in terms of receiving an award that comes from peers in the neuroinclusion space compared to a more, say, formal or government-issued something?
And what award might that be? Because we should say that Patricia here, you do have 3 letters after your name, right?
I do.
You
Yes.
want to tell us about those?
Order of Australia Medal.
Yes.
Oh!
So I think
yes, you're in the presence of royalty.
I think that every time I see you, Patricia, I really do. We want to hear everything. We're going to pull back the covers and just be like, hello. But no, seriously, tell us everything. And I know the Autism Month has a specific or a really particular kind of special place in your heart as well. So I'd love you to tell us about you.
Oh, well, it has a special place in my heart, really, because of my children. So I've always shared with you, Callie, that my children are the big why for why I do what I do. So they're the original reason, I guess, if you like, why I started my work in this space. And it was really because of my oldest son, Marco, and we use the word awareness. I guess that's when the awareness started, and something that's just popped into my mind now, which I think is so important. This is what I often talk about: is when you do get a diagnosis, you don't even know what it means. You don't know where to go. You don't know what supports are out there. And also, too, he's 23, and of course, me too. I've grown so much and learnt so much along the way. But I remember when he got that diagnosis, my idea, perception, understanding of somebody who is autistic, it was like he felt like his life was over.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I actually remember, like, still really clearly now, both my husband and I just sitting, like, in the living room, just looking at each other going, like, what does this mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I still think it's like that for so many parents who get diagnosis now. I mean, I was talking to another colleague that you and I both know the other day, and we were both saying that how even now parents get that diagnosis, but they don't know what supports are available. They don't, they have these things like these different levels, autism level 1, 2, and 3. What does that even mean? And, all these things too are very much around societal norms of what functioning looks like according
Yep.
to society. And, you know, your understanding and the way you interact with the world and all those sorts of things. So, yeah, so that's why, because if I look at where I was, well, however many years ago that was now, let's say 17 years ago, to where I am now, whether it's a friend that gets a diagnosis as an adult or whether it's, you know, someone who their child gets that diagnosis, I don't have that same feeling for them as I felt when, you know, we first were told that he's autistic. And like even looking at that journey being expanded, because it's only, what is it, in the last where they recognize that autism and ADHD...
Well, since 2013.
Yeah.
So the DSM-5,
yeah.
but it went into the DSM-5, but really it's only been the last 5 years that we've actually really started to see those diagnoses.
Yeah. And, you know, that's another thing too, which is like, I remember it was me that said to the psychologist when he was about 12, I think he's ADHD as well. Like it wasn't even being looked at.
Yeah. And he's a talented musician as well, right?
He is,
Marco?
yes.
I've heard some of his stuff on Spotify.
Yes. Yeah.
So this was 17 years ago when he was first diagnosed. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, well, he's 23, but, well, there's a bit of a story. And again, societal norms and even diagnostic, what do we call the
criteria?
Do we call the process? Do we call it
the process?
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, the diagnostic
but
process.
He actually didn't meet the criteria according. So first took him for a diagnosis when he was 5, and he was diagnosed at the age of 5 with, it doesn't even exist anymore. It was called PDD-NOS. Listen to this: pervasive development disorder, not otherwise specified.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
That means we know you're disordered in inverted commas, but we don't know what it is.
Fucking bullshit. Sorry, I am straight into the cursing.
That was when he was 5. And like we got that. We didn't even know what that meant. And then when he was 8, so then what happened is Marco met all of his milestones late, and he had a lot of trouble with, he's got an intentional tremor, so a lot of difficulty with writing and things like that. And so he was seen at pediatric OT. And after she was working with him, you know, for about a year or something, she turned around and she goes, oh, yeah, you know, Patricia, you're right. He's autistic. And so then she sent us to go and get a diagnosis with a psychologist that she was working really closely with at the time, who's quite well known here in Canberra now. And she diagnosed him with autism, and you know, back then it was Asperger's, of course. And it's because, and one of the reasons, actually really interesting, because we talk about these definitions or expectations around autism, one of the reasons why he failed the test, I guess, if you like, is because he was too empathetic. So when we went through that diagnosis when he was 5, I was told that he cannot possibly be autistic because he has empathy.
Yeah. Hands up, who hasn't heard that one before? Hey, neurokin out there, our autistic neurokin all over the world. I am absolutely sure you've heard that bullshit. I mean, that one before. Sorry, Troy, I interrupted you.
No, that's okay. I was just, the support that we have today, right, which is far from where it needs to be, is still there. Right, I cannot envisage what it would have been like to hear not otherwise specified 17 years ago.
That didn't leave that long ago.
But it would have been 2013 when the new DSM-5 came in. Yeah.
So who did you turn to for support? Did you have people in your corner?
No.
No. That would be challenging.
Yeah. Apart from that pediatric occupational therapist Marco was seen on a regular basis. No. And then when he got the diagnosis from the psychologist who I mentioned who diagnosed him when he was 8, he then started seeing her. But, you know, it very much was I don't know if the word is, you know, mother guilt, regret, whatever, you know, I very much, because back then it was all about making the person fit in.
Right.
And I say that to Marco now so much. I feel like I said to him, if I knew then what I know now, because it was all about making him fit in. Like even with and not saying that I did have a lot of arguments with school teachers also along the way, like it was specifically around him writing, because he has an intentional tremor. So he finds it really, really difficult. It's much better now, but to write. And I remember saying to the school then, I was like, but why does he need to write? We have computers. I remember this thing of forcing this child to have to write, or it caused him, it's painful for him. It's difficult. It's really hard.
Yeah.
It's because he has low muscle tone. So it's because he can't postural, can't hold himself upright to write and things like that. And why do you have to be able to write to survive?
Yeah, and the guilt thing you talked about, right?
Yeah.
I honestly wish there was a way to relieve you of that, because it wasn't even, we think of it now as, we know it now, is that we're trying to get people to fit in, but actually, as a parent, you're trying to get them to survive. Right. And certainly at that point in time, that's what survival was, right?
Yeah.
And we could talk forever about the pendulum swing. We've talked about it before, about how I don't think as a society we can say, well, we should all just look after our own well-being and everyone else can look after theirs, and then basically everybody can go get fucked. So I've got to stop swearing. I don't think we can just do it that way, right? Like, so there has to be a level for everyone of going, look, I can't show up as myself entirely without being aware of what that self looks like for everybody else. I have stims and behaviors that would be highly annoying if I was doing them around other people. Tech guy doesn't count. He gets the benefit. He gets to see me do my annoying ones.
Yeah.
But, you know,
As
so
does the rest of our
17,
family.
17 years ago,
Yeah.
trying to walk that tightrope. So tell us what you did next.
It was a long time ago, Callie. I would describe it as a journey. I mean, I did very much throw myself into learning as much as I could. Then I decided to specialize in disability support education. So I went back and studied in that area. So, and that was to get an understanding. And, you know, that understanding then led to our younger son, when we were doing readers with him in primary school, and again, not the system, but me picked up that he's dyslexic. So yeah, just probably really threw myself into learning about one, but also then started working in this space and then started my own business, because it got to the point where I wanted the child or the family to be able to work with me until they didn't need my supports anymore, rather than the system dictating, and by the system I mean funding and resources and things like that, dictating that they didn't need my supports anymore, which is when you're a teacher working in that space, that's what happens.
Absolutely. And there's a lot of families at the moment in Australia who are going through this at the moment, right, with the changes to the NDIS as well.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing and what I know is that you went, right, well, if nobody else is doing it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, that's right. And I remember the look on my husband's face when I told him I was going to start my own business. But he also could see, like, he's always said to me, like, it's what lights me up and everything. And if I wasn't doing that, what else would I be doing?
They give a load of validation.
I want to know, I think I've heard you say before, Patricia, that you actually received your own diagnosis after you'd already gone through this journey with your children, which isn't an uncommon story in today's day and age, that we receive late-stage diagnoses as women. But I'd love to know from your perspective how that changed or impacted what you were doing. Were you already in your own business when you got the diagnosis?
I was. The one thing that I think that's probably has changed then is then that interest in female and, you know, those presenting as female, and why so many females get missed, and really, you know, trying to create awareness around that, developing an understanding of the hormonal issues and how hormones affect the neurodivergent female. And I also had my own experience, which I won't, you know, go into here today, but I also had my own experience with hormonal issues and fertility issues, that then once I found out all this information, it's like, oh, this is why. Okay. This now makes so much sense. So probably more, you know, just that focus of more towards the female experience. Then also two other things too, like the relationship between trauma and being neurodivergent. So, because I also have a diagnosis of complex PTSD. So understanding the links there as well. And also I do think, although this isn't deliberate, but I am aware that I probably have developed more of a focus towards ADHD because that's the diagnosis that I received. However, I do think that I am autistic as well. And I have undergone the process to get a diagnosis, but I actually think I'm so good at masking. Like, I'm serious. No, because I've talked to another, I actually talked to another, actually a pediatrician in Sydney, and she said she had the same experience. She is positive, she is autistic, but she said, I just think I'm so good at masking that I actually don't think I can get diagnosed. And I actually think that
is very real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I had the same realization after diving more into this and working with Callie, and I was like, oh, I see it clearly now.
I can see clearly now the autism.
They give a load of validation.
I have another question. So I have experienced fostering a very complex teenager, and I had just recently before that received my neurodivergent diagnosis, and the teenager I was fostering was super neurodivergent with many different things, and we went down the road of diagnoses and things. But I found that it was very difficult to balance that, supporting the people in my care and helping them unmask and helping them figure out what to do alongside my own process of grief and all of that. Plus you were working in the advocacy space. How did you manage all of that? How do you manage that? And do you ever find that you just get to a point where you just go, I can't think about this right now. I can't advocate for this right now because I am exhausted.
Yeah. And that it is a lot. And sometimes too, like the burnout, and also too, I'm a real empath as well. So I really take on other people's, the people that I'm supporting, whether that is my clients or my children. Sometimes it really is a lot. And then also too, like you said, the unmasking, realizing what's going on, the almost like a coming out of my shell as far as the complex PTSD, like this year. So there's been a lot going on for me this year with the complex PTSD as well. And just sometimes it's just like, yeah, Jayne, it just does feel like it's too much. But then I'm so passionate and driven about wanting to create the change, the visibility, make the difference. That is what keeps me going. But I do I do definitely get burnt out. Because I actually haven't known Callie for that long, but I have sent Callie texts where I'll be just like, just done.
I'm done.
Like I'm burnt. Like I just can't. And she'll be like, yes, am I.
we did sync up on burnout, I think, earlier this year, didn't we? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot. And the thing, like you're saying, keep on turning up, keep on, and sometimes you do just need to take that reprieve and
put your own mask on first.
You put your own mask on first. And I have gotten a lot better at doing that and creating space for myself. One of the big things with the complex PTSD is I was operating like there was always a whip behind me and I had to perform and I had to prove myself. And with that unmasking or that peeling back of the onion, that's less now, which is allowing me to create more time for myself to be able to look after myself and my own needs.
That's really cool. And
I love this.
And obviously we've been really focused on parents, and I know a number of parents going through this journey now, and it saddens me to say that it's actually not that different an experience to the one that you went through like 17 years ago. It's like the language is different now.
Yeah.
We know a little bit more about neurology but the isolation and the grief and the fear that these parents that I know going through it with their young children particularly, it seems at least you can go on the journey almost with older children, but when they're really young as well, it's like, what does this mean? And it's sad, right? That is still a similar experience, and we need more people doing really what you're doing in that space.
The stigma and the shame. Like my younger son just won't tell anyone, and my older son, Marco, the musician, he's very select about who he will. So it's just still, the stigma and the shame. And I think you guys are really similar to me. Like we're out and we're proud, right? But for our just seeing that's still just so, that stigma is so much there that if you share that you're autistic, or some people are going to change their opinion of you, or
Can I just say I've seen it go completely the other way with some kids too.
Yeah.
Who, when they get their diagnosis, everything becomes, I can't do my homework, I've got autism.
Right. So I think this is a real challenge, right? Like, again, it's that what is the razor thin line between reason versus excuse? And so
And
parents,
school refusal comes to mind too.
school refusal, and you can see why. Like,
Yes.
of course, they don't want to go to a place that makes them feel wrong all the bloody time. What would you say to parents going through this right now? Just something to give them that little bit of light, I guess, in
Going
everything.
through
Like the grief and the newness of autism diagnoses for their children.
probably, if like looking at my experience with Marco, is like look at where we were and look at where we are now, and he's so fulfilled, he's really happy, he is living his best life, he's doing what he wants to do. And also, I think, though, too, what I would be saying to them is, okay, so the whole diagnostic process, we know is deficit-based, right? So that's what I always say if I'm working with parents and providing with them the support. One of the first sessions I run is on the strengths of being, whatever your neurotype is, that the strengths of having a neurodivergent brain. And so let's focus on that. Let's focus on your child's strengths, you know? And of course, not every neurodivergent kid is going to be a creative or artistic or
a data scientist,
but whatever their strengths is, that's what you want to harness. That's what you want to bring out in them. That is actually something that I really do focus on, is that coming back to myself, like I now know that if I wasn't neurodivergent, that there's no way in the world that I would have started my own business. But also too, my creativity is having my own business and creating that, because that creativity side of things can be something different. It doesn't have to be in the, what you think is. But yeah, that's what I would say to parents, is really like about the strength, like celebrating the strengths of your child. And of course they're going to need supports, and then looking at what supports they do need, what they're, struggling with at the time, whether that is around issues what's happening at school or with other things that are going on. I mean, the other thing too is that supports, like Troy was saying, supports are a lot better now. There are even businesses in Canberra, like, where they're offering a lot more opportunities or things that where neurodivergent kids can really follow their interests. And when Marco was, there was none of that. There was nothing. I'm thinking of something like Dream Machine. There was nothing like that when when he. There had been something. Oh, it's this is business in Canberra where Luke Ferguson, who's the guy that founded it, it's like the most amazing space, Jayne. Like, you go there, whether you're into video editing, whether you're into Lego, if you're into producing music, if you're artistic, you're into like doing amazing marble runs or whatever. It's a space where you can go to do. It's
like a hyperfixation palace.
Yeah.
I'm coming to Canberra.
That's a really good. It's just like, wow. I want to say he probably started the business about maybe 3 to 4 years, and it's just gone, like, he's had to expand the space. He's had to,
Does it include adults who want to go and play there?
No, it stops at 21.
I see a gap in the market.
Jayne, you could pass for 20.
Thank you, babe. I know. I'm actually 19.
They give a load of validation.
I wanted to ask, we've talked about, supporting the kids and things, but my age range, I've got so many friends with little kids who are on all ranges of neurodiverse spectrums. And whilst they are really good at getting information and supporting their kids, I'm seeing a lot of my friends who have nothing left to give. So I wanted to ask you, from your perspective as a mother, what would you recommend or suggest people who do need to fill their own cups to support others could do?
Especially when your kids are little.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder.
Start a business?
But you're thinking what they can do to regulate themselves, Jayne, and like their energy levels. And I'm just thinking too, it also can be really hard if they don't have a lot of support around, or if they're a single parent. That can make it a lot harder as well. And so,
as always, whenever anybody mentions the word single parent, I will take time to cheer single parents. You are flipping amazing. Here's your cheer. Honestly, single parents are superhumans.
And
Anyway.
that's what I think too. Like when it's all very well and good to say, "Oh, have your partner look after the kids or whatever," so you can. But what if you don't have a partner?
Yeah.
I'll just get the grandparents to do it. Unless they live in England and you're in Australia. Yeah.
Exactly.
But you can't turn off your brain as well while you go out. Like you might leave the kids with the partner, but you're going to be thinking about all of it as you're out.
Yeah. Part of that too is also learning, and that's been a big thing for me too, is learning what regulates me, what helps calm my nervous system. And, this is another thing too, because we know that neurotypical strategies do not fit neurodivergent people. So these things, like for a lot of people with ADHD, for example, meditation doesn't work and think of too hard to meditate. And it really is about finding that thing that helps you, but then also too is helping like that person and thinking how it might be just that one thing. How can they then have the support in place to then be able to do that one thing that helps them get their spoons in, or their emotional regulation. Or like for me, for example, and this is only something I realized probably about 5 years ago now, is for me the gym, but in the gym, it's particularly strength training, resistance training. There's a lot of research around too that says how resistance training, because of the push, actually helps with ADHD and emotional regulation. But that's been a huge thing for me is that. But then I'm lucky because again I have a partner that supports me that I can do that. So
and we have physical bodies that allow us to do that as well, right?
Exactly. We know for a lot of neurodivergent people, like water is a great regulator. So even as they're away, that they can, with what they've got at home, that they can use to bring their energy levels back up.
Yeah, I saw a TikTok on that a little while ago, right?
Yeah.
And it was literally like, if your kid's having a tanty, just add water. Just remember those 3 words.
Yeah.
Whenever your kid's having a meltdown, just add water. And it absolutely works. Give them a glass of water. They could go in a pool or the ocean, depending on where you live.
Yeah.
Go in the shower. Go in the bath.
Yeah.
Put the sprinkler on
Hose
outside.
them down. Pressure wash them.
But then coming back to adults though too, sometimes that can be, I mean, if that's the only thing that you can do because you don't have other support around you to leave your children somewhere. Also too, I should not laugh about this. My boys will tell you that I traumatized them apparently when they were younger because I tried to go to the gym and put them in the care thing at the gym.
Worse.
So that, I know.
Neurodivergent parents, we really are the worst, right? Just all the time.
Because we're trying to regulate ourselves.
They give a load of validation.
What are our tips that we would give to neurodivergent parents? And you don't have to be a parent to know these tips, but I reckon between us, like things that we use to regulate ourselves, things that so I've got one in my hand. Right? It is not a vibrator. I know it looks like one. It is not, right? It is. It does vibrate. I'm not going to lie. It vibrates. No, it's like a bit like a TENS machine, right? So it's called a Calm Carry. And I bought this for PB. And then I bought another one, right? So I actually bought 2, and it sits in your hand and it doesn't vibrate. Like you can put it on your leg, whatever, you don't feel it, but it's got this little metally thing in it, and it puts in your hand and it's rechargeable, but it helps you sleep at night, right? So if you're somebody who doesn't want melatonin, for example, because there are side effects to melatonin, an alternative, I actually then got it I tried it for me to sleep with. It did work. Other young people around us have tried them. They love them. So I have to say I get carpal tunnel, and that's why I have it. It's an interesting feeling, the TENS type feeling. Anyway, so that is something I would absolutely recommend. There is no level of sponsorship or anything not a sex store.
Go to a sex shop and get a vibrator.
They are. It's TENS. I mean, I would not put this in a place that vibrators go, let me just say, because I would not want electric shocks there. Thank you very much. But it is a TENS machine, really. It's like a mini TENS machine. But it's designed, it's so weird. You can touch it anywhere and then it doesn't go off. But then you put it in your hand and you can feel it, right? So, yeah, it's really cool. So I would highly recommend this. My other one would be get your fruit bowl and chuck Fidgets in it. We've actually got ours just over here. We have them on the table, and there's always somebody who'll pick it up, whether it's guest, whether it's the kids or whatever, somebody can just pick that up and start fidgeting, I guess. The third one I've completely forgotten because I have ADHD.
I was thinking, what about oral? Like having some people,
Are we still on the sex toys?
I was very concerned.
I was thinking
podcast has
about that.
changed.
I was thinking about, and now I'm going to talk about sucking. But like certain, like having, because some people are all
Yes.
stims, right?
Yes.
So like for me, chewing gum is a huge one.
Me too, yeah.
Okay. But also too, there might be some like lollies and things like, like
And there's
things that-
necklaces and
yeah,
all sorts.
yeah. So, things that you can wear that can help just to give you that neural feedback and just to calm
Absolutely.
yeah.
Ground you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, also too, I was just thinking they do say 10 minutes of sunshine in the morning, if you can do it, is
Yeah.
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 I have started spending 10 minutes. I'd love to say 10 minutes. It's probably close to half an hour out in the sun in the morning without tech. I think it's really important to me just to get there and get the sun in my eyes and whatnot.
Tech guy without tech? You can't
Right.
handle
What is
this.
happening? I have to say that was my third one. Is
Ah.
take the tech off your kids. If your kids are neurodivergent, I mean, if they're kids anyway, please look at the digital dementia that is happening and the tech issues that are happening to kids' brains and the shrinking in kids' brains at critical development things. But that was my third one. Sorry to interrupt, but I would have forgotten it again. I had to jump in. I'm so sorry. But take the tech off your kids. The tech is absolute kryptonite for your neurodivergent kids. And I know it's hard. Oh my God, I feel you. It's hard. You can scream at me silently in the pantry because it's my fault that your kids are screaming because they've got no tech. Trust me. As soon as they get off the tech and start doing something else when they're young, it really regulates them down once they go through the tantrum. And they, just do give them something else to do with that energy for a time. But they're my three. Fidgets in bowls on the table everywhere. This vibraty, not a vibrated thing, and take the tech off them.
I go to mosh pits. Is that a thing? That's definitely a thing.
Because that would probably be the
So attitude, ADD, etude, right? Brilliant. If you don't subscribe to attitude as a
Yeah,
parent, you
it's very
definitely need
good,
to.
yes.
It's brilliant research. They literally just today, the benefits of dance for neurodivergent minds. Yeah.
What I do is look loosely defined as dance. I think I look ridiculous, but it's fine. Whatever. No one knows me in a mosh pit.
You're moving your body to music, babe. I've seen you. You're a goober. I love it. It's dance. It counts.
Does it?
How about you, Jayne? What do you reckon?
I have a few things which are intermingled with my chronic illness, but in way of water, I have a little inflatable spa at home. So I will jump in that every night and it just brings me right back down to a calm, grounded place. I also have a safety show, which is a TV show I just watch on repeat if I need to be brought back to
Which
my
one is it? Is
calm
it Brooklyn
place.
Nine-Nine? Is
It's
it Brooklyn
Brooklyn
Nine-Nine?
Nine-Nine.
Oh, so is ours. Ours is the same safety show.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Oh my God. Great. Okay, well, we're all on the same page there. But I
Title
will
of your
put it
sex
on.
tape.
Title of your sex tape, yeah. I will put it on and I will play some mind-numbing game so that it just switches off all of my functions all at once and just brings me back down because I'm not focusing on anything else but my safety show, that's hearing safety show, and watching the game. And like my fingers are busy at the same time. So that's my go-to if I'm at work. I'll switch off for 10 minutes and go into a meeting room and do that routine.
Yeah,
And then
brain
at
break.
home,
I love
hop
it.
in the shower or have a spa.
Amazing. So that's a range of kids and parent and adult kind of regulation
Yeah.
things there. Cool. Hopefully that helps. And if you don't subscribe to Attitude, let's add that as number 4.
Done.
All right.
Troy, we've totally capitalized on this. Do you have any questions for Patricia?
I'm sitting here in awe, right, is what it is. So we just talked about a couple of those companies in Canberra that are doing things now, which are cool as hell, right? That happens because they get to stand on the shoulders of giants, right?
Yeah.
People that did this about 17 years ago, that started these movements, that started making a difference for people. I don't think that things like that happen without people just like Patricia doing the things she does, right? So I have been sitting here trying to steal all of her thoughts and minds and energy and everything else. And I say that with the full knowledge that one of the things that Patricia does better than most people I've ever met is build others up. And if I asked her if I wanted to know the thing, then I would hear it and she would tell me and she would give me all of the confidence to do the things. So I don't have the questions. I'm just like I said,
Fangirling?
I'm fangirling. real
Yeah.
You look so comfortable, Patricia. How
I was going to say, how are you feeling there? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was lovely. And I was going to say, that was how I was going to end. You stole my line, but it's so worth it. Is that you are literally one of the kindest humans I've met in this journey that I've been on since leaving my job and setting up my own business. Literally not knowing me at all and just being like, I'm going to stick, I'm looking out for you, babe. No, I got this. You got, hey, here's some advice and here's some help and some support. Unprompted, you're welcome. And I'm like, thank you.
She's got you.
I needed that so much.
She's got you, boo.
So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
But I am super keen
But
to
you
hear.
know, the first time I heard you speak, I got goosebumps.
No. Thanks,
Aw.
Karen.
Oh, I see.
No, thanks. Was that the spoons one?
Yes.
That was the spoons one.
I literally got goosebumps.
When I sat on the spoon.
I was like, oh, this is my person.
I was trying not to cry. I made an absolute tit of myself in front of Lee Sales. Yeah, all of those things. Yeah.
It was a vibe.
It was a total vibe. Oh, you were there, Jay.
I was there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun. Now, let's talk before we sign off.
Yes.
I think it's really important we hear about the empathy, and you've touched on it already.
Yeah.
There's recently been research that's come out that showed this idea we had that autistic people don't have empathy is a load of old codswallop. So can you tell us a little more about that?
Well, it is. It is a load of, yeah. So, and you would have heard of the double empathy problem too. So autistic people feel empathy, and again, not everybody, right? But because again, we know one autistic person, one autistic person, one person with ADHD, one person. So it affects everybody so differently. But a lot of autistic and ADHDers and other neurodivergent people have very, very high empathy and what they call double empathy, or I'll say they feel it tenfold. So what I often say is like, if you think of a 5 or 6 year old child in the classroom. So you know how you get kids that run, that escape schools. When you're that age, you've got no idea what your nervous system is receiving. Don't have any understanding of that. But those that have the really high empathy, like my son does, what they're doing is they're picking up on every single child in that classroom that's stressed, that's anxious, that maybe the teacher has yelled at, that somebody might have bullied them in the playground, and then also strong sense of social justice probably comes into that as well. But what's happened is they're picking up on it, and then they're over there in all of this. So you think fight, flight, or freeze. They go in, so their nervous system is getting all this empathy. They're feeling the stress. But what are you going to do if you're 5 or 6 years old and you don't understand your autonomic nervous response? You don't know about the amygdala and all the things that we all know. You're going to run, aren't you? Like, you're going to, because you've just gotten to the point where you just taking all this in, and you don't know what to do with it. And, like if you're talking about late diagnosis, there might be adults that aren't aware that they're picking up on that in workplaces, that when their colleagues are getting stressed, or when somebody might be visually displaying that they're stressed, right? But they actually are picking up almost, well, that word empath, like they're actually just picking up on the feeling of that person. It is a huge issue, and developing an understanding of that in workplaces as much as with schools with young children, and that is really, really, it is so critical, because it will be affecting the way a person reacts to a situation. Because some of them have quite an adverse reaction, and people be thinking what's going on, or that was really out of kilter or out of whack with the situation. But sometimes it can be that they might have just gotten to the point where they've just hit the wall, and then they just explode. But it's because they're picking up on all the other empathy with everything else that's going on with everyone around them. And it was also too, I think, because a lot of neurodivergent people have real affinity with animals.
Yes.
And I think that's why too is the empathy, because they really feel.
Well, and it's that way of when you humanize things as well, right? Anthropomorphize, I think it is.
Yes.
And you're like, well, I can't not use that spoon because I've used the other spoons, and if I don't use that spoon, it's going to get sad. Because it's been left in the drawer all the time, or I have to name every single one of the flock of flipping, I don't know, galahs or whatever that's outside, all 75 of them, they're a type of bird for those who don't know. I have to name all of them because everything has the ability to feel. So that is really common as well, especially in autism. And I wonder if I actually don't know the answer to this. So genuine question. With the reason that autistic people were traditionally considered to have low empathy, and again, noting young boys, it's, we've talked about that, if that was actually a freeze response as opposed to a lack of empathy, it's like so overwhelmed with the nervous system, the sensory, the emotional, the intellectual inputs, that it's actually potentially a fawn or a freeze response as opposed to having no empathy.
Can I just say, I didn't expect a super emotional response, but I've just had one of those moments where I know these things. I know about double empathy, but I have had such a big week with work stuff that hearing you explain it, it helped me place it in my own emotions and how hard it is to absorb everyone else's around me. So holy hell, Patricia, you just changed me today. Thank you.
Do you ever have a day where you don't change someone, Patricia? Genuine question. Again, I don't believe that you do. Have you seen Jayne?
Up over here.
It's
Sorry.
okay. That's all right, darling. We're not afraid of your tears. We're not afraid of your
Don't
tears.
tell me that right now, because I would the wall will break, the dam will let free.
Yeah.
That's
Have
enough
you
for now.
so have you seen, there's been a whole heap of stuff on social media recently about witchy ADHD and witchiness and all that type of thing. I always used to think, dead set, I've never told anyone this, I don't think. Maybe you, Jayne, and maybe you, tech guy. I always used to be absolutely convinced, and I'm still not convinced I can't, that I can see auras, right? But it's this. I know I have synesthesia now, so I know that now. But also, it's the empathy thing, like, the amount of times I imagine every single person in this call or in this podcast, should I say, has been able to say, hey, and talk to someone about the way they're feeling when they don't even know they're feeling it yet. They're still masking it even to themselves. And then you're like, hey, you okay? You want to talk? Are you sure?
And the weirdest thing will unblock it. Like hearing you describe that, even though I know it, it just unlocked it. What a time.
What a time.
Can I throw in another curveball?
Yes,
though?
please.
So you know that psychics believe that neurodivergent people are operating on a high vibrational frequency. So that's why. So what you just described about the aura and won't go into it too much now.
We'll save that for
because
another
that's one,
episode.
but because I'm quite spiritual as well. There's a podcast series called The Telepathy Tapes.
Well, I'm looking for that immediately.
That talks about and also the people who are nonverbal.
Yeah.
Are actually, there's thought that they're actually operating on a much higher vibrational frequency.
Wow.
Yeah. None of this surprises me. We will bring this one to an end, but we will get you back, Patricia, because I want to talk about this, right? I don't know many ADHD specifically, I'm thinking of on this one, who aren't a little bit like spiritual, have maybe tried dabbling around, like, what is this religion? What is that religion? This one doesn't feel right. It's not quite, something doesn't quite sit. Now my justice sensitivity is kicking in because what do you mean? I've got to get kicked out of Sunday school for asking too many questions and asking, but why though? But we all have crystals, I have definitely, so
I have
I don't know.
intuitive masseuse that
You
I love
do.
seeing.
Yeah, you do.
She's fab.
But I reckon we should come back to that. Yeah, 100%.
They give a load of validation.
Patricia, what's something fun about you? Not you as the parent, not you as the speaker, not you as the advocate, but what's something fun about you that would surprise our listeners?
Well, actually, I've started dance classes.
Hey.
That's been doing that for.
What type of dance?
It's a mixture of jazz, hip hop, and funk.
Oh, I love
Stop
it.
it. Is it called junk pop?
No, it's not.
It should be.
So obviously you got your OAM. You were far more excited about your Wild award.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I was.
Yeah. And
That's a given.
yeah. Right? Yeah. And you are an all round just generally decent human. And I really do mean that. And so thank you for being you. Thank you for the work you've done for the last 17 years and will no doubt continue to do. And in fact, watch this space because there's some cool stuff you've got coming up.
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah.
How can our listeners find you, Patricia, if they want to chat to you afterwards or find out more about you?
Well, they can, so on social media, on Facebook and Instagram is just Patricia Falcetta, and LinkedIn is as well.
And that's FALCETTA.
Yes.
Yeah.
So probably on socials and also website as well. There is a Patricia Falcetta website, and there also is a Social Living Solutions website as well. So
Which is
there
your
are other ways
business?
that people can find me. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have two businesses because I have ADHD.
ADHD.
I did used to have a podcast too called Nurturing Neurodiversity.
Yeah.
But I do intend to start podcasting again one day.
Amazing.
It's just, all of the things.
Yes. I recommend not doing it weekly.
No. Yeah.
Okay, well, Patricia, thank you so much for joining us today. It made me cry. It made us laugh. It was beautiful to have you and to chat with you and to learn more about you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
If anyone wants to learn any more about Patricia, please reach out to her. Check out our socials, ND Wild Global or at ND Wild Global on Instagram and Facebook. Or check out our website, ndwild.org, for more information on all things wild.
Amazing. And you can send us any questions, and you can send us anything that you would like us to know about for the ND Wild team to amplify through our website, through our Wild Voice newsletter, the podcast, or any of our socials as well. And basically, we will just tell people about your stuff. And that is hello@ndwild.org. Anything else?
No.
No?
Amazing.
Amazing. Well, Tech Guy, I wish you wouldn't talk so much on these podcasts. So that's all I'm going to say. So
See you all next time.
Thanks,
See
Jayne.
Thanks for
you, Jayne.
listening.
thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.
See you.
Ready or not, here I come.
Been out in the wild, I couldn't see for the trees. My quiet road fell in with a head full of bees. Buzz, buzz, buzz.
Ready or not.
Peekaboo, bo, bo. Tag!
You're it, I see you. Time to play, time to let that
Wild, come out and slay. Camouflage and normal, I forgot who I was. Now I'm wildin' out like
You're queer just because.
knock, knock, guess who's here? That wild child you tried to make disappear. Yeah. Surprise, surprise, wild is alive.
Come here, pretty freak, give me a high five.
Peekaboo, boo, boo, I see you, I see me, and now you do too. From wild and ashamed to wild and free. Tag your it, come and catch me. Peekaboo, I see you, you glorious, magical, so and so.
Watch like wildfire, watch it grow. Neuro queer, hit wild and it goes.
Peekaboo, boo, boo, I see you, I see me, and now you do too. Peekaboo, boo, boo, I see you, I see me, and now you do too. Mirror, mirror, hello, you sexy beast. I see you too, what a visual feast. Hey, Marco Polo, found my tribe tonight. They got neuro queer vision and we bite.
Chomp, peekaboo, boo, boo. I see you. I see me, and now you do too.